time, the chair recognizes Councilman Squilla, who will present a resolution recognizing Larry Freedman. Would Mr. Freedman and those accompanying him please join the councilman at the podium? You want Matt, come on, guys. The Northern Liberties crew, come on. Man.
It says L for Larry.
Go ahead, Councilman.
Thank you, Mr. President. And as somebody who shares the district in Northern Liberties with President Clark and other members of council, understanding how important it is to have great community leaders. And the reason why we always save the best for last is that the community is so important here in Philadelphia to make government work. We can't do it by ourselves, and we need to do it with help from our community leaders, and Larry Freedman is one of those. So today we're honoring and recognizing Larry Freedman for his tireless dedication to the city of Philadelphia and especially the Northern Liberties neighborhood. Whereas in 1986, Larry Freedman and his partner, Natalie Wieders, established a residence and sound studio and art business on North 2nd Street in Northern Liberties. Larry quickly became an active member of the Northern Liberties community, which was at that time seeing the first signs of rebirth after decades of population loss and disinvestment. And
whereas in 1987, Larry joined the Northern Liberties Neighbors Association Zoning Committee, and in the early 1990s became its chair, a position he still holds today, helping to oversee community input into a staggering volume of new development and helping to shape that development while preserving the community's fabric. And
whereas Larry served on the NLNA Board of Directors for many years and co-founded the Northern Liberties Community Development Corporation, which redeveloped a historic building into the Garden Looms Affordable Housing Project. And whereas Larry was a prime mover in a multi-year effort to secure a permanent home for the NLNA, the Northern Liberties Community Center, and in helping raise approximately $1 million in donations, grants, and financing to complete the renovation of a group of abandoned, blighted properties into a community gathering space with tax-paying residential and commercial uses. And
whereas Larry secured donations enabling the NLNA to begin and sustain weekly sidewalk sweeping in the community, and whereas over the past 3 decades, Larry has devoted tens of thousands of daytime, evening, and weekend hours to help residents and business owners with problems, to mediate disagreements, and to mentor fellow NLNA board members and other community volunteers. And
whereas Larry has become the dean of the city's RCO zoning chairs and a preeminent citizen authority on the city's zoning and building codes, looked to and trusted by members of city council, zoning and land use attorneys, developers, business owners, and residents alike. And
whereas Larry is unfailingly fair, friendly, good-humored, diligent, and he and Natalie are devoted, loving parents to their son, Jesse. And whereas Larry is a model citizen who has poured his heart, mind, hands, and financial resources into our city as a resident, business owner, civic leader, and whom all Philadelphians can be proud. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of Philadelphia that we honor and recognize Larry Freedman for his tireless dedication to making the city of Philadelphia a better place to live, work, and play. Further resolved that this engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to Larry Freedman as evidence of the sincere sentiment of this legislative body. Congratulations.
And the chair recognizes Mr. Freedman for remarks.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
I was prepared to kind of aim my remarks that way, but everybody's here now. So I'm just going to, can I just turn around? No. Okay. I'm exhausted. That's all I have to say. Sean asked me to say nothing inappropriate, so all I have is thank you. This is about volunteering, obviously, and after all these years, I still don't know why anybody does it, but because there's a lot of abuse, and that's about sums it up. Maybe that's what the common denominator is, but all the people that I've worked with, all the boards, all the projects, all the committees, and all the neighbors really who've come into zoning over the years, we've kind of figured it out together. No offense to the other neighborhoods, but Northern Liberties is the best neighborhood in the city. Yeah, right? Okay. What have I got to lose? I've been trying to get fired for 20 years, and Matt won't accept my resignation. And that's because the neighborhood is full of hardworking people, dedicated people, talented people, tolerant people, fun-loving people, and so on and so forth. And it's been an honor to be part of that, and especially since in 1987 when I joined the zoning committee. Holy cow. It took us 2 or 3 years. Joe, you could bear me out. We didn't have an applicant. I don't know what we were doing for 3 years. We were just meeting. It seemed like the right thing to do. So obviously everybody here behind me, thank you. There's a couple people in particular. First of all, this didn't mention, I don't want to be picayune, but it didn't mention the music festivals, which maybe I'm the most proud of. So I'd like to thank Don Phillips. Don and I started the street festivals in the late 80s and early 90s that turned into Welcome America, which turned into the music festivals at Liberty Lands. And June 29th, we have a music festival, so please put that on your calendar. Ira Yupin, one of my best friends, has been a co-chair with me, and we had to get through the crazy era of Northern Liberties in the 2000s when we had 10 to 12 applicants per month. And I would say, Ira, could you do this? And he would do it he would do it on steroids to the point where I couldn't even listen back to what he brought me. But thank you, Ira, because that was great. Matt Rubin, who we got off to a rocky start. That's right. But Matt and I decided to work together, and I think we've done some good things. So thank you, Matt. In 1987, when I joined the zoning committee in April, which is next month, that'll be 32 years, I met Joe McCuliak. And Joe has been a dedicated, dependable, wonderful person, great friend over all these years. We still serve 32 years later. And I say this, Joe, with respect. Usually after a zoning meeting, attorneys will call me and say, thanks, Larry. And by the way, who's that tall, skinny guy with a beard and glasses? He's kind of annoying. And then I would say, yeah, that may be, but he's our annoying. He's my annoying. And that's what we love about Joe. And thank you, Joe, for being annoying. Thank you. That's strange. So with that, oh, my goodness gracious. I dedicate this to Natalie, my wife, partner. Well, we became, yeah, thanks. And the reason for that is I'd have to say for, 20 years, the immortal words I would hear 2 or 3 times a day as I was leaving to do something, Natalie would either open up the window or shout somewhere, where are you going now? And I said, I got to do this thing. So, thank you, Natalie. I'm going to give this to her right now. Get it over with, that's good. And I just want to say thank you, everybody here. And I'm glad you're up here because I was going to invite you up so we could take a picture together.
Thank you. Thank you. Council will be at ease.